Here are 3 things that nobody's talking about in the WWE. My name is Sancho West, and welcome to Sancho West Wrestling. If you're a fan of wrestling, then you found the right place. Let's see. Number 1, Karrion Kross. Now, Karrion Kross is an interesting case. He's coming off his loss at Night of Champions. I'm sure there's a lot of people that were thinking that if Karrion Kross did not show out or did not get a win at Night of Champions against Sami Zayn, that the train is over, the ride is over, the push will be at a dead stop. And I gotta be real with y'all. If you're in that mindset, that's totally fine, but I gotta say that if you're jumping off the Karrion Kross bandwagon, totally cool. I've been a Karrion Kross fan for about a year or so, and considering that his Final Testament run, I knew that there was something special about Karrion Kross that needed to be discovered, that he was inching towards a new level of himself, and he is getting there. But everything that is happening with Karrion Kross is all offline. It's all off the Raw, all off SmackDown, all off TV. If you want to see what I see that's a little bit more blatant when it comes to Karrion Kross, just check out his socials. This guy is doing his own production. He's cutting his own promos, and they are going viral with every single one that he cut. Now, of course, it all started at WrestleMania when he showed up at the Raw podcast, and that's the only official WWE thing that he's done that kind of went mega viral, but it's still not on TV. If you look at his latest promo on his Twitter account, you will see that if one of those got on TV, it'd be awesome. Now, one thing I want to say as well is I knew going to Night of Champions that he had a tall task. The impossible was going to happen because he had to show out, and there was a lot of people that were going to just judge him based on a win or loss, but Karrion Kross is not about that. Karrion Kross is a little bit deeper. My only criticism of that match was that Karrion Kross did not kind of get his mission over of kind of saying like, hey, Sami Zayn, you're a liar. It didn't really ring like really clean in the ring, and so they did a follow-up on Monday night, and I was like, yes, Monday Night Raw, here comes Karrion Kross attacking Sami Zayn, calling him a liar. Now we're kind of really deeping into this story a little bit more, and I'm hoping that we go a little bit further, and I'm hoping that it does result in 2 things: either Karrion Kross getting a nice win over Sami Zayn, or Sami Zayn going heel. But my friends, let me introduce you a third thing that I kind of brought up in the Wrestling School podcast. It'd be sick if Karrion Kross actually breaks a bone of Sami Zayn. Not for real, but breaks a bone of Sami Zayn. If you look at his viral clips, like I mentioned, everything that this guy does is all viral off the air, is that he broke a bat. He has the ability to break a bat with his bare hands and legs. So let this guy break a bone in Sami Zayn. And if he breaks a bone in Sami Zayn, give Sami Zayn a break. He's been a workhorse. That will make Karrion Kross the new scary threat when it comes to heels in the WWE. Think like a Bronson Reed. Number 2, main event booking. This is something that a lot of people have been kind of talking about in the nebulous on the internet and timelines and things of that sort. The IWC is what is going on with main event booking at PLEs. Think about it. We've had about a year or so, or 1,000 days of Roman Reigns. The early days of Roman Reigns was kind of almost clean finishes, things like that. He was super resilient, eventually got into a lot of the bloodline shenanigans, and here we go, coming off of Night of Champions, shenanigans galore, a lot of in-game recreation, things of that sort. We've seen it again with some Gunther finishes and Jey Uso finishes. We've seen it now here in with John Cena, where John Cena is turning heel and he's doing heel tactics, but now there's more characters coming into play. Night of Champions, you had Penta, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed. We've had King of the Ring finals, the Fatal 4-Ways, where you had LA Knight, Sami Zayn, all interfering. This is a cause that is kind of gonna dilute a lot of the results in this era. If you look at the current SmackDown brand, SmackDown has a lot of interferences. You feel that, you kind of feel that kind of cadence when it comes to SmackDown. You're watching it, it's a great banger match, it goes to 2 commercials and then it ends in interference. The WWE needs to be more confident in its decisions. Don't try to protect everybody, because if you protect everybody, everybody falls into the same level. Like the Macho Man said, the cream rises to the top, and just let people win or lose. And I also, as well, is you got to tell the people out there, fans, look, losses happen. It's okay. You can't just bury a talent or get rid of a talent if the WWE gives them a loss. You need to have people have clean losses. It's kind of wild to me that people love to latch on to losses, so much so that they're saying like, this person's not worth their time. And I have to admit, I'm sometimes that guy. When Ilya Dragunov lost to Jey Uso, I was like, that's a very interesting thing. it's okay to lose, but it's on how you lose. I feel that the WWE sometimes forgets that small detail about how they lose, and they sometimes gives people's losses in a very bad way, like the worst version of a loss. For example, recently when Jey Uso lost to Gunther and Gunther slept Jey Uso, and then people are trying to taunt Gunther by saying, you tapped out. I'm like, dude, that just erased everything when Gunther slept Jey. It doesn't matter if Jey tapped out Gunther anymore, in my opinion. So the WWE, if they would have gave John Cena and CM Punk a definitive clean loss or win, doesn't matter who wins or loses. I just want definitive choices by having these overbooked, overcooked type of endings. And I mean, the Night of Champions, I'm being very nitpicky. It was slightly overcooked. In my kind of review video that I made, I do believe that Sami Zayn and Penta should not have been a part of that. You could have got that same end result. Remember, how it ends is it matters. Could have got the same result of John Cena, CM Punk uniting together, forming this little team to defeat Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker on their own, and then have that end moment of John Cena, CM Punk shaking hands, and then Seth Rollins comes in. All that was fine. It was the inclusion of Penta, inclusion of Sami Zayn, that I don't think matters. I feel like sometimes the WWE tries to cram all its homework in one thing. They're deciding like, hey, let's go ahead and tease this. Let's go ahead and build this feud, when you still have what's right in front of you, the 50 meters that's right in front of you. And a lot of the booking when it comes to Triple H likes to give you teases for things that happen months, and sometimes those teases may never happen. Here's the third thing. Now, I've been scratching my brain about Goldberg versus Gunther, and I was wondering, why is this happening? I know a lot of people were saying like, well, Goldberg's retiring. Goldberg said he wanted to retire, and Gunther kind of presented himself. That's the story that the WWE is telling us, and that's something that they set in motion a long time ago at Bad Blood, when Gunther just randomly called out Goldberg, and all of a sudden the wheels start turning. But not everything in the WWE is an accident, and I do believe that this match is trying to replicate something that happened in the year before, or the prior year. And that's Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Really think about it. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul was a phenomenon. Mike Tyson Jake Paul is one of the most watched live events on Netflix's history, and it crashed the Netflix servers. So if you're a WWE executive or producer and you see that happening, wouldn't you want to try to replicate that as best as possible? Wouldn't you want to replicate someone like an old kind of name, like a Mike Tyson in the WWE, a la Gunther, Goldberg, to go up against your big bad? In this case, is Jake Paul and Gunther. So that is what they're doing here. They want to recreate that magic. Everybody knew that there was no way that Jake Paul would be able to lose to Mike Tyson. No one thought Mike Tyson was going to turn back the hands of time, but there was always a chance. And when it didn't happen, the first thing that I thought of is like, man, only in wrestling you could turn back the hands of time and you could produce a nostalgic pop. You could produce a nostalgic goosebumps moment where Goldberg might just beat Gunther, and you could give Goldberg offense against Gunther. Goldberg could spear Gunther. Goldberg could jackhammer Gunther and get you on your feet and really think that the impossible was about to happen. That doesn't happen in real life. That did not happen between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. It was the worst boxing match I've seen in a long time. You literally saw Jake Paul beat up an old man, a retired veteran, a old name of lore. And so someone at the WWE decided to, what if we could capture that lightning in the bottle? We could process sugar it, or not organic, right? Manufacture something awesome between Goldberg and Gunther. And it's going to go down on network television. So I think that's the play that they're going to make. And I think a lot of people are not thinking about it, because it just makes sense when you really now put that with that lens to really think about why this is happening. Well, those are the three things that no one is talking about. Tell your friends about it. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe for more. Peace.